Hello everyone and welcome to Lap of the World. I'm Richard.
I'm Liz, and these are our 1992 Acura NSXs.
One has covered over 312,000 miles.
The other one is just shy of 150,000, but we plan to add nearly 4,000 more miles driving from Knoxville, Tennessee to Phoenix, Arizona for NSXPO 2022.
So come along for the ride as we head into the Southwest and join more than 100 other owners in celebrating all things NSX. Well, hello everybody and welcome back to day 4 of our NSXPO 2022 trip. We made it into Amarillo last night, kind of late, so we decided not to take on the Cowboy Challenge of the Big Texan.
Yeah, so tempting though.
But instead we've, of course, you just don't drive through this section of I-40 in the Southwest without stopping at least a couple of the roadside attractions. So you can see behind us we're at the...
Well, we missed it last time we drove through here, so we figured we had to stop this time. So yeah,
car hinge at Cadillac Ranch.
Yep, Cadillac Ranch. And hoping to find a couple other fun ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think tonight we'll end up somewhere west of
Albuquerque. We need to, and we'll need to get our foot down a little bit. We kind of we slept in a little bit this morning after getting in late last night because we started late in Oklahoma. So at some point in time, we need to we gotta break the streak and get back on schedule here. But we will still have some fun stops and some fun topics to cover today, I think.
Yeah, I think we've got a few things to talk about. We need to talk, Richard.
Oh dear. Yeah. We'll pick you up from the road on that note.
You've arrived at your first stop.
All right, so after stopping and talking to a couple owners that we ran into at a gas station, we got back on the road and we decided to stop at Midpoint, which is not the midpoint in our trip, but the midpoint on Highway 66 between Chicago and Los Angeles.
You see the sign for the Midpoint Cafe there behind us.
Which sadly isn't open today.
Yeah, I know. That would have been a neat little stop, although we did kind of just eat, so it's fine. But
I could eat again.
Maybe that's a fair point.
So, but now we're going to get back on the road.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have somewhere to be, so I'm not sure how many other random roadside attractions will be in this installment. We'll see. If we see something else that piques our interest, we'll stop. But if not, we do welcome suggestions for the way home when we don't really have anywhere to be other than work. So basically nowhere to be.
Yeah.
Nowhere we're in a hurry to be, I should say. So yeah, drop those in the comments down below if you do have suggestions of stuff we could stop and see on the way between Phoenix and Knoxville along probably the I-40 corridor. But speaking of I-40, we probably should get back on it and start actually making up a little bit of time today.
Yeah, we'll pick you back up in a bit. So since we've been stopping at some of the historic landmarks along Highway 66, we thought it would be entertaining to talk about some of the fun facts that we've learned. So to start us off, it was actually commissioned in 1926, and it was the brainchild of a guy in Tulsa, Oklahoma, who just so happened to have a service station that would be along the then highway. It's about 2,500 miles, it runs through 8 states, and it wasn't fully paved until the 30s. Yeah, there's tons and tons of facts about it, but a couple that I was entertained with, it's rumored, and there's evidence to show that Route 66 is what Bonnie and Clyde used for all their shenanigans, we'll call it. It's also where McDonald's was started, and on a personal note, in high school, I was actually a roller skating car hop on historic Highway 66.
Other fun facts, I'm sure most of you watching this will have heard of the movie Cars, the animated series. Certainly if you have kids, you have. And the town of Radiator Springs, where Lightning McQueen and company are all from, was inspired by a town, any number of small towns along Route 66 that were kind of left a little bit derelict after being bypassed by Interstate 40. There are competing claims, I guess, as to which specific town, if any, were the true inspiration for Radiator Springs. But if we're going with the canon from the movie that Radiator Springs was in Arizona, then the likely candidate is probably Holbrook, which is, again, a small town that once the interstate came through, it definitely took an economic slide, but has then rebounded in later years, partially due to the popularity of the movie. So you could say it kind of got paid back for the inspiration in that manner of speaking. But speaking of that plot point of Route 66 being bypassed and Radiator Springs falling into falling on hard times, what I didn't realize though was that the southwestern portion of Route 66 wasn't actually fully bypassed by I-40 until like the mid-80s. I had no idea it was that recent. And I know, I'm old at this point, but I did not realize that had happened in my own lifetime. It seemed like it was a lot longer ago. I would have expected like 60s, maybe 70s or something for that to be completed, but I didn't realize it was as recently as the mid-80s that was finally complete. But having said that, there are big sections of Route 66 that are still in full use, although it's impossible to drive its entire length today. In Texas, for instance, I think we read that 90-something% of the Texas leg of Route 66 is still in use and drivable today. So, anyway, I think that was some interesting little facts, and we learned something when we were looking these up ourselves, so that's always fun. But since we didn't know how many more roadside attractions we might get to, we figured we would at least share that.
So we did manage one more roadside attraction. We found this really cool little diner in Milan, New Mexico. Honestly, really good burgers and fantastic homemade chips.
Yep, and we also finished with a piece of pie because, for you nerds out there, I rolled over 314,15923 miles on my odometer today, so it seemed only appropriate.
Yeah, so it seems like you've come full circle.
She'll see herself out, folks.
So we are, again, about 45 minutes or so away from our hotel, maybe, something like that.
Little ways away, but not too far to go. And but that's where we're going to close it in today. We figured we would get our last little roadside stop and taken care of with a recommendation for Gabbys Wild Diner.
Yeah.
And
well, one thing I was going to mention before we go is I feel like it's important to call out that the drive from Texas to this part of New Mexico is by far the biggest topography change we've had this entire trip.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is a very good observation. I think from wherever that was in like western Texas Panhandle to western or central New Mexico, you go from dead flat to moonscape to then, desert mountains.
Yeah.
And it is pretty cool to see that. But
Absolutely.
We will see more of that tomorrow when we pick you back up.
Yeah.
But for today, we are done. Thanks for watching. I'm Richard.
I'm Liz. This is Lap of the World.
We'll see you in the next video, if not out at Expo.